your little friends and go home! Please.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're looking at the deaths of animated characters who we were happy to see go. We're leaving off anime and movies. Oh, and spoilers.
Now eat this, sucker!
Number 30. Costas Becker, The Simpsons.
Police describe the mysterious assailant as a grim metaphor for a universe without justice.
This soulless debt collector might not be canonical in the Simpsons verse, but that doesn't make his demise any less satisfying. In a two-part episode parodying the Coen brothers, Costas Becker serves as the epitome of evil. Ned Flanders is his antithesis, although even he can be led into temptation. Brian Cox gives a chilling performance as Costas, who seeks to settle an unpaid debt that traces back to Ned's grandfather. As Costas tells Ned that his grandpa wasn't as clean-cut as he thought, Flanders gets serious.
Money can be lost, Mr. Flanders, but a debt never goes away. I am coming to collect when you least expect it.
Costas seals his own fate by chasing after his coveted debt book, falling through the ice. In typical Coen brothers fashion, good prevails, and wickedness is drowned in brutal, biblical, yet grimly comedic ways.
It's been a long time, Mr. Flanders. Now, will you be paying your debt in money or blood?
Number 29. Mikio and Mizu's mother, Blue Eye Samurai.
Mama, you're alive.
Mizu.
Living under the guise of a male, Mizu walks the earth in pursuit of revenge. She almost had a very different life, however. Mizu crosses paths with her supposed mother, who convinces her to enter an arranged marriage with Mikio, a disgraced samurai. Mizu gradually opens up to the idea of living a quiet life with Mikio, who knows what it's like to be an outcast. Once Mizu overpowers him, though, Mikio denounces her as a monster.
You are a monster.
Mikio leaves her for dead, but he didn't count on Mizu defeating her bounty hunters. While Mikio and Mizu's quote-unquote mother both do wrong by her, neither accepts responsibility. Mikio kills the mother, while Mizu takes him down without looking back, picking up where she left off. Number 28. Anti-Pops, aka Malum Cranus, Regular Show. Pops is the jolliest soul on Regular Show.
This place and its creatures offer me nothing, and I plan to extend the favor by destroying it all!
Even with his newly discovered powers, Pops seems ill-equipped to defeat his evil twin brother Anti-Pops. As it becomes clear that force alone won't save the day, Pops finishes off Anti-Pops the only way he knows how, with the power of kindness.
Any last words, Mitch?
You know who else grows really big to show their dominance, but is actually really small deep down? My mom. Oh, good one.
More specifically, a hug, as the two brothers spiral through space into the sun. Mordecai and Rigby are sad to see their friend go, as are we. Pops assures them that this is a happy ending, however. Pops is at peace, and as they approach their final destination, so is Anti-Pops. Balance is restored in the universe, while Pops is rewarded for his sacrifice as he watches his friends below. Number 27. King Sombra, My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. Some villains in My Little Pony are redeemed, Discord being one example. Every once in a while, though, the main six encounters a pony who's bad to the horn. Such is the case with King Sombra, who seeks to rule the Crystal Empire. After his first defeat in Season 3, Sombra is resurrected in the final season with some help from some fellow villains. Sombra doesn't want help, however. He wishes to rule alone, which proves to be his downfall.
Led me right to the source of your power. Now that it's destroyed, nothing can stop me!
Even when the main six are seemingly left without powers, they're reminded that friendship is the ultimate magic. Following some encouraging words from a not really dying Discord, the main six vanquish Sombra for good. Sombra really could have used a friend by his side. Number 26. Adam, Has-Been Hotel.
If what you're suggesting is letting them climb up the ladder, oh, they'd rather cross the pearly gates.
Well,
Sorry, sweetie, but there's no defying their fate.
Adam may be an angel, but that doesn't mean he's not a jerk of biblical proportions. Not only is he privileged, condescending, and all-around mean-spirited, but Adam leads a genocide against sinners, whom Charlie Morningstar seeks to redeem. This builds to a battle against Charlie's has-been hotel and Adam's army on Extermination Day.
Hell is forever, whether you like it or not. Had their chance to behave better, now they boil in the pot. Cause the rules are black and white, there's no use in trying to fight it.
While the hotel is destroyed, Adam goes down as well. Charlie convinces her father to show mercy, practicing what she's been preaching. Adam nonetheless refuses to accept defeat, going off on a tirade. Wildcard Nifty thankfully puts an end to Adam's rant, giving him an overdue stabbing. And since Adam's blood is yellow instead of red, we guess we can show his demise without getting demonetized. YouTube makes so much sense.
Your thing there.
Number 25. Dr. Jason Woodrue, Harley Quinn.
Pamela.
Jason, you two already know each other?
Before meeting Harley, Poison Ivy had written off humanity. Given her experience with Dr. Woodrue, we can see why. A mentor and a lover, Woodrue took advantage of Ivy's trust, left her for dead, and caused the accident that put her on the path to becoming an outcast.
Oh, you mean how you trapped me, left me to die?
Please.
Too bad it didn't work out that way, did it?
Wait, Pamela, calm down.
Calm down! Calm down, Pamela! Because of you, people said I was a villain.
That doesn't mean Woodrue made Poison Ivy, however. Ivy makes it clear that she made herself, settling the score with Woodrue. This backfires as her attempt to kill Woodrue instead turns him into Floronic Man.
I liked you better when you were unconscious.
Now, with plant powers of his own, Woodrue proves that he wouldn't have been worthy of Ivy's compassion even if she were open to forgiving him. Harley demonstrates what happens when you mess with her girl, giving Woodrue a pruning.
Are you dead? Oh, you're dead.
Number 24. Infinity Ultron, What If? For a movie called Age of Ultron, the Avengers defeated him fairly quickly. The character has a more interesting arc in What If, where Ultron doesn't just win.
You can't win.
I already have.
He kills Thanos in one blow and takes his gauntlet, evolving into Infinity Ultron. The evil AI even becomes aware of the Watcher, prompting our narrator to challenge him with the Guardians of the Multiverse.
From here, I can see everything. No one can stop me now.
While they prevail, there's another Ultron variant out there. This one is remorseful of his actions, leading to an unlikely team-up and sacrifice on Ultron's part.
Why won't you die?
Wait, what?
Remember the saying, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain? It works in reverse for Ultron, who learns the value of life only after destroying most of it. Number 23. Queen Ema, Primal. You can't spell primal without Ema, one of the most barbaric individuals that Spear and Fang ever encountered. Ema not only preys upon the weak, she also finds weaknesses in the strong, forcing him to fight for her. The enslaved Kamau reluctantly serves Ema to protect his daughter. Kamau breaks free from his figurative chains by releasing Fang from her literal ones. A slave revolt eventually erupts, boiling down to a face-off between Kamau and his former captor. Ema is no match for Kamau, who throws her overboard. She might have seemed invincible, but Kamau shows that Ema was but a mere mortal. She splatters right through another ship, dying instantly as her broken body bleeds out on the floor. Number 22. The Core, Amphibia. For much of the series, King Andrias is built up as the big bad, but he should have kept a closer eye on the Core, the AI entity controlling Marcy. While Andrias is stopped and Marcy is saved, the Core has a contingency plan that will destroy Amphibia.
With a core by your side, you will need no friends.
Everyone, including Andreas, bands together to stop the core as the moon draws closer. Yet it all comes down to Anne, who summons the power of the stones and the confidence within herself to prevent Amphibia from meeting a Majora's Mask-esque fate. Following a tearful goodbye, Anne makes the ultimate sacrifice.
You cannot stop a god!
Anne fulfills her destiny by conquering the core. Although this isn't the end of her story. Proving herself a true guardian, Anne earns another chance at life.
Goodbye, Sprig.
Number 21. Emperor Belos, aka Philip Whittabane, the Owl House.
Healing light. It shines in 9 hues.
Once known as Philip Whittabane, this human man became consumed with hatred against magic. Taking on the identity of Emperor Belos, he'd bring fascism to the Boiling Isles, secretly plotting to wipe out witches and demons.
Caleb, you would stab me in the back?
You did it to him first.
With his plans foiled, Belos reverts to his human form, attempting to manipulate Luz into thinking he's reformed. Even before the boiling rain reveals his true nature, Luz isn't buying the act. Belos is reduced to what he's always been behind his mask, a pathetic and vile creature. While Luz doesn't show Belos mercy, she isn't the one who finishes the job. She leaves that to Ida, King, and Rain, who've suffered even more from Belos' tyranny. As Rain puts it, watching Belos get stomped out is extremely satisfying.
Well, we ain't!
Number 20. The Grand Inquisitor, Star Wars Rebels. This guy's job description is pretty straightforward. Find Force users and either convert them or put them in the ground. Suffice it to say, the Master of the Inquisitorius fulfilled his quota with utter abandon. By the time he came face to face with Ezra and Kanan, he was a major lightsaber in everyone's side.
At last. A fight that might be worthy of my time.
But ironically, it's not the Jedi that deals him the finishing blow. Instead, the Grand Inquisitor decides he'd rather fall to his death than face the consequences of his actions.
There are some things far more frightening than death.
He says himself that there are some things even worse than death. But falling into an exploding engine still couldn't have felt very nice. Number 19. Orm, Justice League. The spoiled Prince Orm took a squabble with a sibling to new depths. He usurped the throne, tried to flood the surface world, and even targeted his own baby nephew. Fortunately, the Justice League stepped in to stop him. But it was up to Orm's brother Aquaman to defeat the traitor by actually doing nothing.
Please, brother, help me!
When Orm is left dangling from the side of a steep ledge, all he can do is beg for mercy from the brother he just tried to murder. Instead of lending a hand, Aquaman reclaimed his stolen trident and then just sat back and enjoyed the show. His inaction definitely rubbed some sea salt in the wound.
You did it!
No. We did. Then the threat is over.
Number 18. Simon, Infinity Train. Since Simon let the good-natured Tuba be crushed under the train's wheels, it would have been oh so sweet if Simon met the exact same fate. But Grace came in clutch with a merciful last-minute save.
Why did you... I don't know.
After staring death in the eyes, Simon finally saw the error of his treacherous ways. Just kidding. He immediately betrayed Grace and tried to knock her from the train. Following all of that, it's some serious karmic justice when he ends up next to a very nasty and soul-eating Gome. Let's just say it doesn't show Simon the same mercy Grace did. And honestly, good riddance. Number 17. Toffee, Star versus the Forces of Evil. Don't let the goofy name fool you. Toffee possesses echoes of a dark overlord, a Shakespearean villain, and a crafty businessman. As slick as he is slimy, Toffee may be the most intimidating foe that Star ever went up against. Toffee seemingly met his end at the conclusion of the first season, but only his physical form was destroyed. Biding his time, Toffee made a comeback during the battle for Muni. His unwavering confidence in the wake of his apparent victory makes it all the more satisfying when Star taps into her Muberty form, blasting the villain into a gooey pulp. Toffee remains self-assured until his grotesque end. Considering everything Toffee put Ludo through, it's fitting that he delivers the final blow.
Only I know how this all turns out.
It turns out you did. That's what you get!
Number 16. Roland Thompson, Duckman. In the name of lining his own pockets, this corrupt businessman does everything in his power to exterminate the cure for cancer. The only catch is that it's inside Duckman's brain.
And as the nation's leading healthcare provider, I must kill you.
What follows is something of a literal game of Duck Duck Goose. Except this one ends with Roland crashing into a delivery truck of cigarettes and succumbing to cancerous smoke. Oh, and the driving company's name? It's literally Poetic Justice. We're not sure any animated KO spells it out for you quite like this. Since he's the one who vetoed a cure in the first place, it's safe to say Roland's end was definitely Poetic Justice. Number 15. Mr. Freeze, Batman Beyond. Originally, everyone believed that Victor Freeze had died as a villain. But in the future, technology allows him to come back to life in a new body. Freeze genuinely tries to be a better person when he returns, and acknowledges all his shortcomings. Unfortunately, after his new allies turn on him, he builds a new cold suit and tries to get vengeance.
Freeze? How?
It's something I've kept in cold storage.
But Freeze eventually puts aside his rage to save the new Batman from a foe. And when the unlikely allies are both stuck in a building about to explode, the former villain volunteers to sacrifice himself to save the futuristic hero.
You gotta get out of here, Freeze. The whole place is gonna go.
Believe me, you're the only one who cares.
The Bittersweet ending was the perfect fit for a character that was as complex as Mr. Freeze. Number 14. Dick Hardley, the Powerpuff Girls. Most people would abandon their evil plan before it turned them into a giant radioactive beast. But Dick Hardley is not your run-of-the-mill villain. After launching a plan to make knockoff Powerpuff Girls, he transforms into a giant monster himself. Hardley initially overwhelms the main trio.
Get this junk out of here! You will give me your chemical X!
However, Professor Utonium eventually convinces the villain's knockoffs to turn on their creator. On paper, having death by an army of your own greed is just the kind of ironic send-off that's perfect for someone like Dick Hardley. It's up to viewers to decide if the fact that the entire building exploded into flames afterwards feels like overkill or not.
Well, old Dick may have gotten the formula right, but the one ingredient he forgot was love. Let's go home, girls.
Number 13. Satan, South Park. The very fact that Satan is a recurring character on a TV show is already absurd.
I must admit people up here on Earth have been doing a lot of my work for me lately. Maybe it is time I did something for them.
So, it only makes sense that his death scene is just as bonkers. See, he doesn't perish by weapon, storm, or prayer. He dies defending the town from the aptly named Man-Bear Pig. South Park is probably the only show in existence that could get away with a feral beast wrestling the devil to death.
Satan's dead.
But somehow, that's not even the weirdest part. Through some sort of miracle, Satan himself made it into heaven. Satan has since made a comeback, although we guess being in a relationship with Donald Trump is a fate worse than hell. Number 12. The Earth Queen, The Legend of Korra. Despite the unforgivable deeds that he committed, a part of us did shed a tear for Amon when Tarlok took his brother's life as well as his own.
It will be just like the good old days.
The same cannot be said about Hu Ting, aka the Earth Queen. Whereas many of the other villains in this universe are sympathetic to an extent, the Earth Queen is simply an arrogant ruler who puts her ego before her kingdom and the rest of the world.
Seize these hoodlums and throw them in prison until they decide to show proper respect for the crown!
Her oppressive treatment of airbenders and vendetta against Team Avatar further fuels our disdain for her. That doesn't mean we'd go as far as Zahir does. Still, there is poetic justice in seeing the airbender take the Earth Queen's breath away, resulting in arguably the franchise's most graphic death.
Freedom is just as essential as air. And without it, there is no life. There is only darkness.
Number 11. Zantiri, Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. Not only is Zantiri an evil, shape-shifting being with demonic and warlock powers, but she also has a serious bone to pick with Rapunzel. Throughout the final season, the sorceress was determined to rule the world with the Sundrop and Moonstone. But when Zantiri finally gets her hands on the mystical items, they ironically do more damage to her.
Wither and decay. End this destiny.
Thanks to the heroine's clever use of Rapunzel's hair, Zantiri ends up smashing both the stones right in her own face. The ensuing explosion gives her a one-way ticket to infinity and beyond. But since she's the one who stole the Sundrop and Moonstone in the first place, this defeat was totally earned. Number 10. Diane Simmons, Family Guy. After the Griffin family arrives at a fancy mansion, they find themselves tangled in a violent murder mystery. Initially, it seems like Anchorman Tom Tucker is the one responsible for the bloodshed, but Lois eventually pieces together that newswoman Diane Simmons is truly responsible.
I mean, how could she have known you'd be anchoring alone? I mean, none of this happened until...
She went on her spree just to frame the anchorman that scorned her and was willing to take out Lois to keep her secrets safe. However, Stewie's quick actions caused Diane to fall to her death. Her demise is especially satisfying because the young Griffin is usually trying to assassinate his mom himself. The moment is also ironic because Lois took Stewie out in a simulated world.
Stewie, your reign of terror has come to an end. I will not stand by while you make innocent people suffer.
Number 9. Slade, Teen Titans. While the vicious Slade committed many terrible crimes, his worst misdeed arguably centered around the young metahuman Terra. The villain forced her to befriend the Teen Titans so she could betray them in his name.
You can't treat me like this.
Can't I? Who else would have you, my dear?
While the pain this caused Terra and the teen heroes is immeasurable, at least the heroine got back at the big bad. She ends up using her considerable earth-moving powers to lash out at her former boss.
You can't control me anymore!
Unfortunately, Terra's outburst also triggered a volcanic eruption. As she made a big sacrifice to stop the lava, Slade sunk into the molten liquid. Although Slade wouldn't stay dead forever, that didn't make his defeat here any less glorious. Number 8. Silco, Arcane. While Silco was unquestionably a twisted villain, he grew to care for Jinx after he took her under his dark wings. That's what made his death strangely tragic. His demise came after Jinx took him and her very own sister hostage. Although both parties tried to appeal to their captor, her mental state rapidly deteriorates and she lashes out. When the smoke clears, it's clear that Silco has sustained fatal wounds.
No, I'm sorry.
He had every right to be furious with Jinx in the end. However, Silco spent his final moments reiterating how much he loves Jinx. This probably isn't the goodbye anyone expected, and it's all the better for it.
Don't cry. You're perfect.
Silco's final scene showed that the seemingly heartless man was still capable of love. Number 7. Tammy Guterman, Rick and Morty. After traumatizing Morty and the audience, we all cheered when Rick turned King Jellybean into, well, jelly.
No, it's cool. Rick, Portal, hurry.
We have to give this spot to Tammy, however, as our hatred of her was built up over multiple episodes. Summer's classmate and Bird Person's love interest, Tammy seems like a minor character. Not even Rick could have predicted Tammy being an undercover Galactic Federation agent.
In a lot of ways, what I really am is a deep cover agent for the Galactic Federation, and you guys are a group of wanted criminals, and this entire building is, in a certain sense, surrounded.
Using her wedding to assemble the Federation's enemies, Tammy shoots Bird Person and turns him into her secret weapon. Tammy finally gets her comeuppance 2 seasons later. It's highly satisfying that Summer gets the drop on Tammy, as she betrayed her trust and friendship. It's just as gratifying that Rick finishes Tammy off, having made him go to a wedding, among other things.
And I should have said that one first.
Number 6. Super Shredder, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Throughout the numerous iterations of Ninja Turtles, Shredder has been portrayed as either silly or sinister. The 2012 incarnation definitely leans towards the latter, becoming more unhinged each season. Once he becomes Super Shredder, any humanity that might have remained in Oroku Saki is consumed by power and vengeance.
And last, my nightmares will end. For tonight, you will finally perish.
In a reverse of the 1990 Ninja Turtles movie, Master Splinter falls from a rooftop to his demise at the hands of his nemesis. The following episode mirrors the secret of the ooze. Super Shredder receives the bombastic send-off he deserves. It's the ultimate final battle that utilizes most of the major characters, culminating with Leo avenging his father. It's hard to imagine the franchise ever topping this.
Number 5. Zhao, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Admiral Zhao was an arrogant firebender who was willing to do anything to stomp out his enemies. He was so cocky that he killed the moon spirit without considering the consequences that would bring. However, Zhao didn't anticipate that a young princess would give up her life to bring the moon back. After it returns, the ocean spirit decides to take down the firebender once and for all. Zhao's enemy Zuko actually tries to save the Admiral from a dark fate. However, the firebending villain chooses to preserve his pride instead of his life and refuses help.
Take my hand!
Zhao's death became even more satisfying in The Legend of Korra when we found out he's still paying the price for his crimes against the spirits.
I am the Moon Slayer! I will capture the Avatar!
Hopefully we're not trapped in here as long as that guy.
Number 4. Count Vlad Dracula Tepesh, Castlevania.
Be it the original NES classic or Castlevania 3, it's always rewarding when the player defeats Dracula. The standoff against Dracula towards the end of Castlevania Season 2 is every bit as intense as a video game boss fight.
You must be the Belmont.
While the outcome is satisfying, it's also much sadder than we would have expected. Overpowering his son, Dracula is reminded of what he once had and realizes what he's about to destroy.
My boy. I'm killing my boy.
Repenting for his sins, the vampire allows Alucard to stake him. Rotting away, Dracula attempts to give his son a hug goodbye, but he isn't permitted such a luxury. It's a devastating demise, and we wouldn't have it any other way, even if Dracula does get resurrected down the line.
Number 3. Bill Cipher, Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls had one of the most satisfying finales ever, and Bill Cipher's defeat is one of the many reasons why. Creepy, funny, and relishing in all of the chaos he unleashes, Bill is everything you could want in a villain.
Don't you toy with me, Shooting Star! I see everything! Ow! Not again! Why? Every time!
Anyone threatens Dipper and Mabel, though, they have got to go. On the verge of victory, Bill convinces Ford to let him inside his mind in exchange for his family.
My only condition is that you let my brother and the kids go.
Fine.
No, Gurgle Ford, don't trust him!
It's a deal!
Bill may be manipulative, but Stan is the ultimate conman. Tricking Bill into entering his mind, Stan punches the Dream Demon's daylights out while Ford fires up the memory gun.
You idiot! Don't you realize you're destroying your own mind too?
It's not like I was using this space for much anyway.
All that remains of Bill is a statue, leaving us to wonder if he's truly gone for good. Perhaps a mystery for another day.
Number 2. Darth Maul, Star Wars Rebels.
We all thought Darth Maul fell to his doom in The Phantom Menace, but that wasn't even the half of it. The Zabrak warrior resurfaces in the Clone Wars and meets his final resting place in Rebels.
I will mend this old wound.
It's only appropriate that Maul's last stand is against Obi-Wan, given their history. Unlike their previous battles, however, this standoff is more like something out of a classic Western or samurai duel. While Maul hasn't changed much since they last met, Obi-Wan is much wiser.
As such, Obi-Wan attempts to impart some words of wisdom until he's given no choice but to draw his lightsaber. Learning from Qui-Gon's defeat, Obi-Wan bests Maul, who takes some solace in knowing that the Chosen One will bring about Darth Sidious's end.
Tell me, is it the Chosen One?
He is.
He will avenge us.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Aku, Samurai Jack.
Since the first episode, this series has been building towards Jack defeating the shapeshifting Master of Darkness. It took 5 seasons and about 16 years, but fans were finally granted the rousing finale they were promised. Even with the support of his allies, Jack's efforts appear futile against the relentless Aku.
You're nothing but insignificant insect to Aku.
She proves to be the key in her father's undoing, as she discovers the power to take Jack back to where his journey started. Returning to where he first faced Aku, Jack is given an advantage. It's a clever solution capped off by a thrilling final confrontation.
Do not worry, Samurai. You will see me again. But next time, you will not be so fortunate.
As Jack plunges his sword at a helpless Aku, we all take a deep breath, knowing that this long-time rivalry is about to meet its heart-pounding conclusion.
Which cartoon death did you find the most satisfying? Let us know in the comments.